Big news, everybody. Ellis, mate, Big Zaddy Jace Cakes has got new merch, and it's global. Hey, Canada, remember how you were like, man, I can't get T-shirts and boards? You can now. Hey, Australia, oh, g'day. Remember you were like, mate, why can't I get a skateboard? You can. TheJasonEllis.com. New merch. El Rey Art did this stuff. I buy stuff off this guy, and then he made this design for me. It's sick. It's a cowboy wolf. And then I got me doing a horse wheel on a skateboard. Signed by me, Big Zaddy Jace Cakes. You can get it all now. Canada, Australia, America, all g'day. TheJasonEllis.com. Get them now. Welcome to the show. It's live with Big Zaddy Jace Cakes and Chimbo the Bimbo Peeb. Bimbo Jeeb, Bimbo Jeeb, Bimbo 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 Jeeb. Yeah, welcome to the live show where we're gonna be asked a bunch of questions. Strange thing is, I could be wrong, but like, I don't think anyone that's got anything negative to say on social media is going to be on the live chat to actually ask me a question because they don't want an answer. They just want to go down, 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 down. Why are you so sad? Maybe you should work on yourself and find out that the real thing, the real answers to life is just live it. Just live it, baby. Hydration. Key. That's electrolytes. I don't even really know if electrolytes do anything. People say electrolytes are important. But do I know that for sure? Nah. Do I feel more hydrated when I drink electrolytes versus water? I think so, but I don't know. It could be an optical illusion, you know? I don't know. I remember at one point I was drinking, what is it? What's the water?
Propel?
Nah, wow, dude, you're so unhealthy. Just that's your go-to. Is it Propel? No, it's not Gatorade. Dumbass. It's...
Does it have sugar in it?
No. It's alkaline water.
Oh, okay.
Alkaline water. So there's alkaline water you get at the store, and that's like, nah. But then there's like my boxing coach a long time ago had an alkaline water thing connected to, so it was like actual alkaline water, and you could add more or less alkaline. And if you did too much alkaline, you would like get diarrhea because your body had to adjust to it. And it was like the body soaks up the water so you don't pee it out. And he swore by it. And I still don't know, you know. I used to drink a gallon of it every day. I don't know. I don't know what's really real anymore. I don't really, you know what I know? That I don't know. So I don't know, you know. I was just, the Kill Tony thing came out last night, and I watched it, and I was like, meh. My girlfriend was like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "Yeah." It wasn't bad, but it's not that funny. She was like, "You don't think you're that funny?" I'm like, "No, not really." You know, everybody's real nice. Everyone seems to think it's good. I don't know. If I know that I got a long way to go, and who knows if I actually get there. But it wasn't bad. You know, I didn't do bad. It's just I don't know. It's just like it was all right. It wasn't As I think that's the thing that I was talking about yesterday, where it's like when things are good, I'm like, yeah. And when things are bad, I'm like, yeah. It's pretty even keeled, I don't know. Maybe it's a safety precaution that I have locked in because if things get too good and I get too excited about it, maybe I'll do something silly, Or maybe maybe I'm keeping my ego in check, So it's like, you did well on Kill Tony. I don't think I killed on Kill Tony, But if it's just, I mean, I don't know if you watched it, but if you watch it, and Tony goes, that's the best minute you've done. It's the only minute I've done. You don't even know that I didn't do a minute the last time. You don't know me. You don't remember me from last time.
Wait, what did you do last time?
I talked about being abused as a child, and Dr. Phil said, which person did you like the best? And that clip went viral.
But you did a minute before that.
No, I did not.
You just came out and told Dr. Phil you got abused.
Here's what happened, right? So at first thing, this is how it goes.
Okay.
Tony Hawk and Jason Ellis had a podcast, Hawk versus Wolf. Tony called it Hawk and the Wolf because he doesn't know it. But they were like, we're going to have you on. My manager is friends with Tony Hinchcliffe. That's how that's kind of working out. And
you want me to get him?
I'm going to get Jules to get him.
If anybody's watching and you aren't sure what's happening right now because you don't watch the show regularly, Rumblebean is a menace. You notice how I didn't say the F word? We are live on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm good.
He is a genuine menace.
Are you going to stay or are you going to go? Anyway, he might be fired from the show permanently because he just has to do like an entry and then he has to go. And then no doubt he'll want to come back in like 20 minutes to ruin it again. It's just, I think he's like the president of the company. It's like he's just checking on me or something. Anyway, it was like, they want you to be on the panel. And this is back when I was on the podcast with Tony Hawk, where I was doing guest spots on big podcasts where it's a weird thing, man, because I had a show, it was like 3 million listeners a day. I was pretty successful. I was a pretty good skateboarder. I wasn't the best skateboarder, but I was like top 10 in the world for a long time. But I was top 10 in the world when skateboarding was like, meh, nobody really cares. You don't know. And vert skating's never been that popular. I'm just a guy, I get it. I'm just a guy. It's okay. The people, my peers, they know I was good. I know I was good. That's it. That's all you can, what I mean? At one point, when it was all said and done, the greatest thing I got from skateboarding was I could skateboard good. And I loved it. It was fun. That's it. Pro model, signature. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Hey, man, you ripped. Thank you. I don't care. Hey, man, you sucked. I don't care. And I know this because I've been in this. So I'm doing these podcasts, I'm on your mum's house, but I'm not on your mum's house. I'm on Bert Kreischer's cooking show. I'm not I was on Tiger Belly. I wasn't on Tiger Belly. Here's a little story. When I was on Tiger Belly, we walked into the front of the house where Bobby Lee greeted us. Tony comes up and Miles comes with us because Miles wants to meet Bobby Lee. He goes, Jason, welcome to the show. To Miles. Have you seen Miles? I mean, he is a Caucasian. He's a fair-headed Caucasian, has hair. I have a wolf tattooed on my head, and I'm probably like 50 pounds bigger than him.
You do look like Miles Security.
Right. Well, so Bobby Lee didn't know who I was. And I'd already met Bobby Lee. That's how insignificant I am. And it's okay. It's okay. So none of those people will ever have me on their show. The only time I'm on the show is because Tony Hawk's there. So at one point, having Jason Ellis on Kill Tony with Tony Hawk because we have a podcast, that worked. But for I can't remember what it was, but the dates Tony could do it. I don't know how it worked where Tony could do it and I couldn't do it. Really, Rumblebean?
He gets one more chance.
He's going to get as many chances as he wants. He is the president of the Jason Ellis Show. So anyway, Tony does the show, and it's a good show too. It's like Harlan and I think even Ian was there. So then it's like, you're going to do it by yourself. I was like, wow, cool. And then we go, I'm in Austin. I think I was doing comedy or something, but Tony, who's friends with Brianna, texts Brianna and goes, "Is Jason got a minute?" And Brianna goes, "Jason, do you have a minute?" And I go, "Wait, right now? I thought I was on the panel." And she's like, "No, it's just 1 minute." And I'm like, "No, I don't." And I watch Kill Tony. I used to listen to it when I had a car all the time. And I know that I didn't at the time. This is a good sign for me. I'm going to say something nice about myself, which I probably should. At the time, I didn't have a 1 minute joke, and I was like, I'm not going to write a 1 minute joke 45 minutes before I go on Kill Tony. I am very aware of Kill Tony and how if you do 1 minute poorly, it's not a good look. And I'm not a guy that's been in comedy for a couple of days. Like, this is my actual career. I'm trying to make it. Going up and bombing on Kill Tony is not something that I'm interested in. So I told Brianna, no, I don't have 1 minute. And then Tony was like, "Oh, it's okay. We'll just do a quick interview with you." So it was very nice of him, considering I told him I don't have a minute. And he was like, "You can still come on. Just come out and we'll talk to you." And Adam Ray, who was Dr. Phil at the time, was like, you just come out and talk about, being bi or whatever, and we can make some jokes about you. And I was like, cool. And somehow, I think it was the person that was before me had been abused. And when I came out, Tony said something about me being potentially abused, and he looked at me and I looked at him like, dude, and he was like, "Come on, man, it's funny." So I rolled with it. And that's when that happened. So I didn't really, I'm glad I did. But then afterwards I went to the bar with Tony, and he gave me some advice about how to make 1 minute sets and 3 minute sets. And he's like, it's handy to have those, so you can like transition from a longer joke and just have these little tags. And I was like, cool. And then I really started to write little jokes, shorter time jokes. And I got myself into 3 minute jokes so that I could audition at the Comedy Store and at the Hollywood Improv. The Comedy Store, you have to put your name on a list out of like 300 people, and they pick 12. And I never got picked. And then I knew somebody at the Hollywood Improv, and I actually got up, and I had worked on 3 minutes, and it passed, and I got passed to do the 5 minute set, and then the 5 minute set got me booked. The thing is, if you get booked at the Hollywood Improv, it doesn't really mean anything. Like, now I'm passed at the Hollywood Improv. I've done 3 sets in the last 6 months. Total. Also, I am not available most of the time because I'm on the road. It's a weird little circumstance that I'm in. But yeah, then I got a 1 minute set, and I did reasonably well, and I did it in 1 minute, and I wasn't capable of that 6 months ago. Thanks to Tony Hinchcliffe. So I'm very grateful, and everybody seems to be very positive about it. I saw somebody on Twitter go, "Wow, you're hanging out with Tim Pool and Rob Schneider. Yikes!" And I was like, "Wait,
Like, you picked the lineup?
you realize I'm not Tony Hinchcliffe, right? Like, I didn't book Rob Schneider." But that's also this thing where I'm starting to understand the darkness of social media and how you guys have this thing. Like, I don't know what's going on in the chat right now, but I am assuming that it's not a bunch of people being negative. Or are they?
Chat's all positive.
Right, because none of you are on. It's a free show. And the people that hate me on Twitter and Instagram aren't even on here. because they don't want an answer. They don't want to ask the question and receive an answer. They just want to shoot me down. That's what everybody does. And when you shoot people down all day on social media, you're not a very happy person, which is why I just... I want to lift weights, feel good after I lift some weights, eat some food, and hang out with my pets, and I praise. What do you pray to? None of your business, man. It doesn't matter. But also, if you pray to a specific person, good for you. And if you don't, good for you. And if you sleep with guys or girls, good for you. And if you're a Republican or a Democrat, good for you. I don't care. And we just all care. But you don't really care. That's the thing that throws people into this spiral where it's like you hear everybody coming at you and you think everybody cares and everybody hates you. Nobody really cares. You just say stuff because you're bummed out, you're negative, and you're a bummer. And that's it. So, does anyone have any questions?
Oh, man, I got questions. First up, somebody asked, is that your new deck behind you?
No, that's Tim Pool's board, which is hilarious. It's uncancelable, I was like, that's funny, because I feel like you can't be canceled if you're not in the game. I posted that the other day. I said Denzel Washington posted that. Is anyone mad at me for being associated with Denzel Washington? Yeah, but it's funny because people are like, it's a racist cross, and I'm like, it's an independent logo. Independent trucks have been around for like 50 years. Like, what are you talking about, dude? Like, so yeah, it's just one of Tim's boards, and I think more than ever I can kind of relate to the because I don't really believe in cancel culture, like I think it's a weird, when you start saying that, it's a weird road to go down. Look, it already happened to me. Some of you probably don't realize this, but I used to be a very successful radio host, and it's gone. I am in enormous amounts of debt. And the podcast makes zero money. Don't listen to me. It doesn't make any difference. Nothing is going to change. Tomorrow is going to be tomorrow. Hopefully I'm alive for it, I got my friends, still got a key to Tony Hawk's ramp. Tony Hawk is still my friend. I can still go to Tony Hawk's ramp. That's pretty cool. I'm friends with Whitney Cummings. I can see her horse whenever I want. That's ridiculously awesome. My girlfriend loves me, and she's hot. She made pancakes this morning. Pretty lucky guy, My cat loves me. He's actually sitting down and looks like he's going to actually do the rest of the show like that. So that's cool. Things are pretty cool. I don't really, the Tim Pool thing is like, look, I don't know. I don't know what politics is. I can't be bothered to like try to understand it. Every time I try to listen, I go, oh, and then it's kind of like Real Housewives. Like, I'm sure it's interesting to some people, but I just don't care. So I kind of just drifted off. I just skate, I'm a pro on a skateboard company, and I get boards made. I'm pumped. That's all I know.
Speaking of that, I'm going to put the link in the chat for anybody who is going through it. It'll also be obviously on the whenever we release this as a podcast. But if you can talk about your new merch that's out, because we've had a bunch of people ask about it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, it's cool that everyone's asking about it. Yeah, I'm super excited about it because it's El Rey Art. So this guy, I knew a girl, tattoo girl, and she's like, you should see this guy. You like cowboy stuff. Check out this guy's T-shirts. And I looked at his Instagram, and he makes all these like cowboy shirts, like with chicks with cowboy boots on, and I was like, oh, cool. So every now and then I would buy a T-shirt from this dude, and then out of nowhere, he hit me up and he goes, hey man, my friends tell me you're pretty cool. And I was like, oh yeah? And he's like, yeah, man, like, they are freaking out that you're wearing my T-shirt. And I was like, well, I think your T-shirts are awesome, man. Like, and I don't really buy stuff, but if it's the only T-shirt I wear, it was the only T-shirt I wear still to this day that isn't a T-shirt that somebody gave me. So I really like his art. And then we got to talking. He's a sober guy. And then out of nowhere, he sent me this as a photo. And I go, man, a wolf with a cowboy hat? Sick. And then I'm like, wait a minute. It says Wolf Mate on it. And I'm like, it says Wolf Mate on it. He's like, yeah, man, I made it for you. I'm like, can I use it? He's like, that's why I did it. And I was like, no way. I'm going to make it a T-shirt and a hoodie. And then things are, like I said, things are a bit tight. So like the last merch that I had, when I sold it all, I didn't have enough money to order another run of stuff. So I haven't had stuff in the shop for a while, and I've got no skateboards left. So I made these a long time ago. Well, not a long time ago, but a couple months ago. And then he helped me with a skateboard. So the skateboard graphic and this T-shirt and the hoodie was all ready to go. It was just a matter of getting the money to give to the people to make the stuff to sell it. And then Paul Schmidt, who I love, who made my boards, he went under, which is really sad. He's a good dude, and he's been making skateboards for, like as long as the skateboarding's been around for me. Like Schmidt sticks, we're talking 40 years this guy's been making skateboards, the best skateboards. He's just a good guy. He still skates. And he went under because that's the times, man. Things are hard for everybody. Skateboarding as a whole is pretty bad, all the way around, to the point where people like Paul Schmidt have gone under. So it's really sad. So he went under right when I didn't have any money to order any more boards. And then so I'm asking around some people here and there, and then a friend of mine, Colin McKay, was like, dude, Max DeFore makes skateboards? And I was like, Max DeFore? You guys probably don't know Max, but Max is a pro skateboarder. We used to compete with each other, and I've been good friends with him for 2 decades as a pro skateboarder. He's a Canadian guy, and he was like, yeah, man, that guy makes skateboards now. He sells them to everybody. So I called Max, and Max is, the boards are a little bit more expensive, so it's less profit for me, but he has a connection with selling stuff internationally. And those of you that might know, I have never been able to sell stuff to Canada or Australia. So that's been a bit of a bummer, because I do receive a lot of messages going, hey, man, I can't get it. I'm in Canada. And I'm like, there's nothing I can do, man. Like,
which we now can.
Well, that's the thing. This Max sells and can do it. So now it is international. So now if you're a Canadian or an Australian or wherever you are in the world, you can buy my merch, which is incredibly exciting, because that one did bug me, where I get a lot of messages going, oh, tiddly-do, I want some boards. And I'm like, I can't give you boards, Canada. So that was kind of annoying. So now I can, and I think it's not up yet, right?
Oh, yeah, they're up. Yeah. The boards and shirts and everything, they can buy them.
Well, you can order them now.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody asked me today, when is it up? And I was like, soon.
Yeah, I think it went live this morning. I'm pretty sure. I know Brianna's listening, so she'll know for sure. My bad, everybody. Brianna, I love you. Please let me know.
Well, then, man, I'm gonna let him. Anyway, so yeah, you can get it all now. Yeah. TheJasonEllis.com. You can get my new shirts, you can get my new hoodies, and you can get my new skateboard. And I'm driving down to where the skateboards are being shipped and made tomorrow, and I'm going to sign them all. So they will all be signed by me.
That's right. Could have had an intern do it, but he's doing it himself because he cares.
Wait, I could have had an intern do it?
Well, it's too late. You already agreed.
No, but that's not cool, man.
No, I know.
Like somebody fake signs it?
Hey, super chat. Brian McBride.
Brian McBride, diddly-do. You're the man, bro. How much money did you give me?
$10.
All right. Well, I mean, that's like 4 donuts in California, but hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
gotta get him out of here.
Your minute was hilarious at Cap City and on Kill Tony. Obviously did longer at Cap City. Do you ever hear from Renato anymore? I saw him on the CJI2 stream. I don't know what that is. And it reminded me of him being ridiculous on your show years ago.
Who?
Renato. For those in the chat that don't know, Jason has had more concussions than most people could ever possibly have in their lifetime.
Yeah, who's Renato? Renato. And who's Renato?
Great question. Hey, who's Renato, everybody? Somebody knows.
Oh, wait. Are you talking about the greatest jiu-jitsu guy in the world?
Renato?
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't talked to him for a long time. I saw him in the Hollywood Hills hiking. He looks good. He looked like he got fit. Like he's a bit out of shape. Yeah, he's a cool dude. Well, the thing is, like the show now is just me, and the Patreons with Tully, and guests are less inclined to do the Patreon because it's a weird thing. They think the free podcast is a bigger deal, more people see it, and it's like, yeah, maybe, but also I think these days people watch podcasts in 1 minute clips on social media. I don't think people listen to the entire podcast. I don't know. Seems like, when you have the attention thing for podcasts, everybody's podcast, not a lot of people listen from start to finish. Yeah. That's kind of a thing for podcasting. I think maybe Kill Tony might be a little bit different because, there's like a banger at the end and people want to watch it. Hopefully. I don't know. Again,
I think people sometimes just skip around to the parts that they like,
Yeah, which is cool. But yeah, Hanato is awesome. But I haven't had him on. I don't really want to have... If I'm going to have somebody on this show, it would be more of like an Andrew Huberman or, somebody who's like, like an Olympian or somebody, who works in sobriety or somebody who... like a health and fitness doctor sort of thing. Somebody that can help make your life better.
Speaking of friends of the show, Bill Bouch from Patreon asks, have you had any more contact with Mayhem? Any chance of a return of Mayhem Mondays?
Yeah, I talk to Jason all the time.
Yeah, and he's been on a couple of the episodes that we've had more recently.
He is going to be on my comedy show October 21st at the Comedy Store. He's going to be doing stand-up. So he's trying to be a stand-up.
Yeah, he's been hitting mics, right?
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
Nice.
So
yeah.
So yeah, he'll be on, but that's like more of a... Again, it's like, now that I've changed the show, it's like having guests is like something that I'm just not that interested in unless it's like I said, somebody... I don't even care if they're famous. It's like... it needs to be like something that I can learn. I'm interested about learning. I got to tell you, man, doing the show by myself, I'm very excited about doing the show. And after I do the show, I'm like still happy and excited. I'm not trying to, I like doing Jason Ellis show. I like doing these ones by myself because it's me in my own head. I like it. Yeah. And if you don't, also fair. That's okay. I just don't, I'm trying to think like what would be suitable for this podcast. And like I said, it's like an Andrew Huberman type where I'm like, teach me stuff. There's this lady, she's like crazy fit and she's like, she knows about all these things like food and what is it? The bugs in your stomach. What is it called? She was on that Sean Ryan show. She was like, people have, things in their stomach. What is it?
Like parasites?
Yeah. Because she goes, most people have parasites in their stomach. And he goes, do you think I do? And she goes, for sure you do. And he's like, for sure I do. And she's like, yeah, like the diet or this or whatever, or if you traveled. And he's like, well, how do I get them out? And she's like, I'll tell you how to get them out. And I'm like, I want her to come on here and tell me how to get them out, because if anyone's got them, I got them. I know that might be an irrational thing, but if Sean Ryan, am I saying his name right? It doesn't matter. He's doing just fine. Yeah, but I like that, people like that, where I'm like, I really want to know how to get parasites out. I really want to know if I have parasites, because I need to be on the cutting edge of health and fitness, because I'm getting older, I'm getting sore. Like when I get up in the morning, it's not cool to walk, and I would like to know how to do more things where it doesn't hurt as much and I can keep going and have more energy, because I'm trying to be full of beans. I'm trying to do a lot of stuff, and sometimes I'm like, meh, I don't really want to do it. And I'm like, you got to get mentally. You got to go mentally. Nah, mate, I'm going anyway. And I'm like, I would like to be really excited about it. That's the other thing. Those BP 157s, I ran out of it and I miss it. That worked, because that was like a thing. I poked my belly and I'd be like, and I'm like, let's go. And I'm like, I could have really done with that after Washington. I'm very tired after that. The lack of sleep and the stress, it took a toll. I've been trying to, I've had a couple of days home where I'm like, I'm going to go out. I'm like, I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm like, I'm going to go to the gym. I'm like, I'm going to work out in the backyard. Like, I have not been full of beans, so to speak. What's the chat saying?
We just got a $10 super chat from Duck Gibbons.
Hell yeah, that's a full stack of donuts.
Hey amigos, my dad and I run a motorcycle shop in Austin, Texas called Resurrected Moto. We also built a showroom and have started doing mics. Next time Jace is in ATX, we'd love to put on a proper show.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, book me.
Yeah, somebody also asked how much to get you to do a show in Fresno, and I was just going to put $5,000, but I didn't know.
Great.
$5,000.
That's a lot, but sure. So I guess there's this skateboard Shredder News, and they said bisexual pro skateboarder Jason Ellis is no longer lib. Conservative values make more sense to me. I don't know if that's exactly what I said, but someone's concerned, saying, "Hey man, are you still bi? Are you a part of the community?" And I'm like, look, I'm not. I'm just not active in it. I have no interest in it. You can't be. I don't know if it's possible to be that gay and then not gay. It's like, I don't think it's gross. I have no problem with the community. I'm always going to be a supporter of the community. Because I know people that are gay, and it's like a real thing. I think maybe my trans opinion has changed a little bit, where obviously I'm still a supporter of the trans community, but when you say trans women are women, I'd be more inclined to say trans women are trans women. But I had a discussion with somebody that was actually hanging out with Tim Pool that was like, "Nah, dude, they're dudes." And I'm like, that seems mean. Like, I don't know why you would say that. So again, this thing where it's like, you're with Tim Pool. I'm like, well, Tim was at the dinner table and he supported my argument. So I don't know how bad he is when it comes to that.
Another super chat, $10 from Ladytron.
Yeah.
Said, yeah, I really like the logo. Can't wait to get the hoodie. Hey.
Yeah.
Right, shirts and hoodies.
Please get all that stuff, because there's a chance that if it sells well, that we'll be in a constant rotation, and that I could go to Costa Rica, because I was too scared to do that drop in. So can I answer text messages, or is this cheating?
No, yeah. It's. I told Patreon to just send it in so I can keep the chat.
All right, because it'd be better if it was on the chat.
Yeah,
this is why we're free on YouTube today for the chat.
Right. Yeah.
Last year, after texting you a question, you responded, "Wow," blocked me, and said, "Your podcast, my question was inappropriate. Is this show really Ask Jason Anything?"
Pretty deep.
Yeah, what? I was just so mysterious.
Quick question that also leads us to another plug, and I promise no more after that. Patreon. Somebody asked, what's the situation with Tully, which we've answered many times, but it's a perfect opportunity to plug the Patreon.
Yeah, we're doing a show today. Tully's on, and then tomorrow we're doing a show too. Jason and our show with Tully on Patreon is 2 shows a week.
Every Tuesday and Wednesday, you can see Tully right here.
Hey, Ellis show, awesome shirt. Where can I get one? Really? TheJasonEllis.com. Do I have to post? I have to say?
It's in the chat, and it's everywhere. Yeah. Everybody go to TheJasonEllis.com for tickets, store dates, and merch.
It's weird.
Somebody asked, do you go to AA meetings?
Oh, yeah. All the time. Do you still talk to Rude Jude? No. Hope he's good, though.
I know we've addressed it a couple of times. Somebody asked what happened with the Father Grind thing.
Yeah, Father Grind was the guy that was the booking to get ad sales for the Jason show and Hawk versus Wolf. It was pretty much his idea. And I was like, because, I think it was originated from me teaching people how to skate and arguing that I'm better at teaching people how to drop in than Tony Hawk. And that I'm a good teacher. And this guy was like, you should do trick tip video on how to be a beginner, I think it was also because I was helping that particular... He wanted to skate, so I was teaching him how to skate a little bit. And then he was like, you could sell boards. And then it sort of got into sell shoes, pads, trucks. And I was like, hoo. Because I think like he was not aware of like how dead skateboarding is. And I was like, I don't know about that. And he's like, no, trust me, it'll work. And I was like, okay, like I'm not putting any money in it. And it was like, you pay me to do it. I think it was 10 grand. And I was like, well, yeah, I'll do it for 10 grand. I'll do pretty much anything for 10 grand, especially back then. And then it turned into the sales of Father Grind needed to pay the 10 grand back. And I'm like, wait, did you lend me that? No, I gave it to him. I'm like, but then why do you need it back? He's like, I don't know how it worked, but it didn't make sense to me. But it was that's right, the completes, instead of selling the decks, because I was like, if you sell the decks, they'll sell. But I guess he took a bunch for completes, and I'm like, no one's gonna buy the completes. Yeah. That's just my opinion. And sure enough, it didn't do that well. But if you sold the boards just solo, they did sell. And I don't know how well the video went. It was more like doing an interaction with Ian because he was learning to skate. It was fun. I liked it. But yeah, it just kind of died. And then there was the money thing got weird. The guy got weird. And then he kind of did some stuff where Tony didn't like it. And that kind of ended the podcast. Like Tony was like, I don't want to really be involved in this. If there's going to be like drama. And I guess it's a weird thing. People get involved with me, and it's like all of a sudden they're like, part owner of me, and I was just like, what is happening? Like, what is this Father Grind? It's not a big deal. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't make any money. Like it failed, and then, when the Hawk versus Wolf thing ended, it's nobody's fault. But that was definitely a big bump in the road where Tony was like, what the hell? And, I don't want to get into it all, but there was drama. And when there's drama and you're also not making any money and you're Tony Hawk, you just step out. So the Father Grind thing just became, I just didn't want to be associated with that particular person. So if I was to keep Father Grind going, that would mean that I would still be in business with that guy. And I was just like, I'd rather just move on and cut myself out of that. So I just cut myself out of it and went back to making my boards by myself. And I don't It's sort of like a video of teaching people how to skate. It's kind of, I don't know. Sometimes people can watch videos and learn how to do stuff. I don't know. For me, it's like a hands-on thing, you know? Like people have brought up like, why don't I do boxing video stuff? And I'm like, I guess maybe. And like you like do a live camera thing and I tell you what you're doing, but it's just not the same as me being there. I can really teach you how to be good at something if I'm there. You know, I've taught people how to drop in that can't really skate. But that's the other thing. Like, you know, when I teach people how to drop in, I usually kind of catch them a few times if they fall off. If I'm watching you and you fall, I can't catch you. I'm just looking at you on my phone. Well, you destroy yourself. So it doesn't really work. So yeah, that thing failed. That's it when it comes to that. Got
2 super chats from Patreon members. Casey Barton said, towards the donut fund.
Appreciate it, Casey.
And Enzo Mara said, no question, just supporting Young Wing, longtime listener from Faction Days. Hope all is good, mate.
Thanks, dude. Yeah, things are awesome, man. Yeah, things have, I don't think they've really been better. You know, I'm trying to think of like, you know, the only time they've been better is when I've just been like high and delirious. So I don't know if that really counts, you know? Where, you know, when you're like, oh, it's so high. I felt like that was pretty good. And now I'm just like, I don't know high on anything. And I'm like, it's pretty good. And it's not the same. I'm not going to lie. It's not as good, you know? But you're just like, oh, and I'm like out of my mind and everybody's got boobs. It's pretty cool. And now I'm like, hey, it's pretty good. But like, look, dude, show's doing good, selling merch. I'm on the road doing comedy. I love comedy. I've been working real hard at it. I'm doing it. I did Kill Tony and it came out last night. Everyone seems to think it's okay. That's cool. I know I gotta, I want to do a special now. And I feel like after Kill Tony, I don't even know if I can, I feel like my 1 minute joke is like part of my set where I'm like, is it dead now? Like, can I not do that anymore at all? Like, I feel like I should just move on.
I mean, that's part of the stuff that you're working on, just because the stuff you want to get down is the stuff you kind of want to burn. So it makes sense to put it in there still.
Right.
If anybody complains about a minute, then they don't really care.
Well, there's definitely a lot longer version of that whole thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, I don't.
Super chat, Pacifico Clara, donuts are sugar-coated lies, $10.
Yeah. Wait, what? Don't ruin them for me and buy them for me. They are great. They're no lie. They're facts.
I'll be right back. I got to go kill the lawn guy.
He's not going to do it. He's going to keep going. Sup, guys. Have a good show. Missed the live start by 30 minutes. And got clients Wi-Fi. My question is, Jason, do you ever miss riding moto? Dave Rothgory from Colorado. I do miss moto. Yeah, I do. I do think that moto is not off the table for me. I just think, financially having a motorcycle. And, it's not just having a motorcycle, it's having things to fix the motorcycle. And then having a truck to put the motorcycle in the back of. That's money. So, it's not that bad. And don't get me wrong. It's funny. That's what I'm sort of saying. Like, I'm in a predicament where I was really sad about it. And the predicament has not changed whatsoever. And I'm pretty happy about everything, It's like just how you look at things. Like, if I wasn't in debt and I was making money, I would buy a truck and a dirt bike and I would go every now and then. I totally would. Because I've also got like a common sense where I kind of, if I saw a job where I was like, oh, I could probably do that again. I'd be like, yeah, or you could not do that, and I just never was equipped with that. I'd be like, you got to do it. If you don't do it, you're, and then next thing you know, and then I destroy myself. So yeah, I would love to ride moto again. It's just a matter of, I gotta pay off 2 things. Taxman and this person I had a relationship with. Once I pay them off, and then obviously still have a job that, because dude, if you ride dirt bikes, that's money, man. You know, like those bikes are like 10 grand. You know, and the funny thing, when I was rich, I would a truck. I wouldn't buy a bad truck. I would, get a new Dodge Ram or some, I would just like lease some ridiculous truck, which is, you take that stuff for granted, man. Like I used to just get a truck, get a Porsche, you need a car, get you a car too. I bought a chick a car, daughter's car. Like everyone gets a car, everyone gets a bear suit, like just out of control. And now I'm like, if tomorrow I just start making a bunch of money again, I'd be like, I'm just gonna get like a little truck, that fits the bike in there and it takes me to the track because that's all it's for. Or maybe helping somebody move. I don't need a sound system in my truck. I just need it to like not break down on the way to Temecula. So it's not out of the question. Things are getting better, financially. And then I still own a piece of Liquid Death. One day they'll sell it. And when they do, hopefully that'll be enough to like pay off my debts. And then by then I'll probably be a huge comedian. I mean, I'm probably huge already because I did 1 minute on Kill Tony last night. And as you all know, that is when you become a star. So I would say probably by the time this podcast ends, I will be rich and famous.
Just a reminder that we cannot use some of the expletives we might use to discuss this. Somebody asked about the car update. So if you briefly want to touch on that.
Wait, why would I? That's the other thing. I don't care. It's fine.
It's fine.
I don't care.
Okay. Good.
It's not I can tell Brianna is a very persistent person, and sometimes her persistence makes people angry. But it comes from a good place.
And gets things done.
I appreciate it. And then the other guy that's doing all this stuff for the car that is like I had to pay BMW money that I really can't afford. Which is why I never got my windshield fixed or I knew my car was falling apart, but it was, I'm not taking it anywhere to get fixed. If it still starts, I'm just going to take it. And it's like, people don't understand. Like you're making millions of dollars and then you've got reverse money. We're talking about bankruptcy was like on the table for probably like 2 years where I was like, is it this month? And it's like, nah, keep fighting it. Keep doing it. You can make it. I'm like, okay, I'll keep making it. And, my ex is like, you don't need the money. And I'm like, I'm not lying. Like, I don't have any money and everything I get, I'll give it to you. Like I'm doing the best that I can. Like at one point she let me pay her less because I can't afford to pay her the monthly thing that was agreed upon. I'm like, I'll get it to you, and she was like, okay, no problem. At one point I asked her, can I not pay until Liquid Death sold? She was like, that's not going to happen. I'm like, fair enough, but it's, and now the car's been gone for, I don't know, I think like 4 months, maybe longer. I don't even know. Time is I've hit my head a lot, but the car, every now and then I've seen a photo and I'm like, whoa, it looks crazy. But yeah, it's not. It was supposed to come last week. It's supposed to come this week. Now it might be this weekend. I don't really care because it's like if I worry about it or when am I gonna get it? It's like when are you gonna be famous? When are you gonna get a raise? When are you gonna fall in love? When are you gonna get out of tax debt? It's like, dude, just relax. Today's the day. Today's all you got. And that's it. I got today, and today's pretty cool. I got a show, there's a bunch of people. I got like a bunch of money for donuts. It ain't so bad, I'm pro skateboarder again. I'm going skating tomorrow. I got to keep going. We're going to Washington kind of threw me off the whole program. I got to get back in there, and my board was too big. Boonies are making me a shorter board. Man, my Boonies board that's coming out is sick.
Oh yeah, somebody was asking about that. Do you know
I got the graphic. I didn't know because I didn't have Wi-Fi at one point or something, and I guess they sent me the graphic, and he was like, man, I guess you didn't like it. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, I sent you the graphic, and you didn't say anything. I was like, oh man, I don't think he likes it. I'm like, I didn't see it. And he's like, this, and I was like, whoa, this thing is sick. And he's like, oh, well, cool then. Run it. And I'm like, yeah, run it. It's awesome. So I'm just going through the shape thing, size. I went a little too big, and the board was a little too big. So now I'm going back down to the other board. But right now I've got 2 boards left that Jimmy gave me, so I've got boards to skate. So I just want to go back to Tony's and skate because I still have my legs about me, but I am sore from jumping at the Boonies headquarters down into this quarter pipe that I couldn't make the jump. I couldn't skate down it because I just jumped down it and it hurt me. And I was like, man, I can't land in the transition. And my hip's out, and I did something to my back, and I'm a bit buckled. But, whatever, I'm always buckled. The cold plunge is broken, and I can't get it fixed. And the people that plunge will no longer respond. I'm like, man, the mighty have fallen. But apparently you can get an ice engine for $500. So, do you know what I mean? Like, it's not that bad. It's okay. I'll put an ice pack on my hip. I don't care. It's fine. But the car's not ready, and I don't know when it's going to be ready. Someone said Saturday, but I also heard 2 weeks ago that it was ready last week, and so it's just, when it's going to be ready, when it's ready. And then when it's ready, the most exciting thing about that is going over to my son's house, because my son now has the same car as me, but a newer model. And it would have been nicer than my car if I hadn't have had all the stuff done to my car that has been done to my car. So once my car is done and I do get it, I'm going to my son's house and I'm going to call him and be like, hey man, come outside. And then I'll be like, hey Tiger, do you like apples? He probably doesn't even know that. And I'll be like, how do you like these apples? Someone said, do I miss the A6K? Yes, I do. I loved that truck. That was the greatest truck that I've ever seen, let alone own. Still never seen a better truck, in my professional opinion. Thanks for answering the moto question. I definitely take my Dodge Ram and dirt bikes for granted. Zach asked me about the dirt bike enduro race live yesterday. It's been awesome getting to interact with the show. Oh, that's okay. That's the guy. Oh, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, all that stuff sounds super exciting, man. Like, I would love to do all that stuff, but it's, when you just, my head's down, dude. Like, it's been like, like I said, buying stuff has not been on the table for a long time. Like, that was part of the reason not making the drop in, where I was like, 10 grand gets me a vacation. It's like, when people say when they're on their deathbed, like, I wish I went out and traveled more, like, before you get too old. And I was like, if I get 10 grand, because at one point I remember thinking, if I get 10 grand for making that drop in, I'm just going to give it to the 2 things that I owe. And then I was like, dude, you're making those payments. Go somewhere with your girlfriend and have some fun, Go on a vacation before you're too old to go anywhere. So I was going to go, and then I didn't make it. And it was like, oh man, that whole little pipe dream kind of was crushed. But these days, thanks to sobriety, like, it got crushed. It hurt. It was probably an hour, where I was like, And then after an hour, I was like, you're all right, And then, my son was like super happy that I didn't do it. And my girlfriend was super happy that I didn't do it. And I'm like, what the thing is that they have is they love me. And they care way more about me than money.
Here's a fun question. Water to cola ratio for metal ramps back in the day to make them skatable.
Oh, they've heard me talk about that, haven't they?
I would assume so.
Yeah, so Coca-Cola was a thing that you would sprinkle on the ramp because it would get super slippery. And then people started, because, the Coca-Cola would get sticky, and if you knee slide, it would rip your pads off. So then people started doing, like, a bit of water and a bit of Coca-Cola. But I would say it would be a 80-20 80 Coke. Because you don't want to get too much water on the ramp. That's kind of... Water on the ramp is not cool. But those are days that I don't miss. When it was like... Because the option was like not skate. And I'm like, well, that's not going to happen. Whoops. Somebody fried an egg on Morty Alec ramp. Like, just to prove a point. Just cracked it and put it on the ramp, and it just totally fried an egg. And we skated. And there was a thing where if you fell, when you got up, you had to use the things that you didn't have bare skin to get up. Like, people used to wear gloves at Morty Alec ramp just to be able to get up, because you couldn't put your hand down on the ramp because the metal was black. So it was black metal. So it was like, 40 degrees. In Australia, that would be 100. Wait, I'm doing the other way around. Here, it's 100. Right. In Australia, 40 is 100. Does that make sense?
Because of the Celsius to Fahrenheit?
Yeah. 40 is like, we're going to die. Old people are going to die. And like here. 100 is like, old people, if you don't have an air conditioner, you're going to die. So it's like that.
Patreon member Michael asks, what crime have you been able to do and get away with? What's the craziest
I never got away with anything. Look at me. I am, in the dictionary, pay the price. Yeah, I've never committed a crime that I have not got. Yeah. Every crime I have done. Okay, that's not true. Inevitably, I have been caught, but there has been times in my life. Look, I'm not a good guy. I've turned it around now, but, as I said, I'm a cheater. So I've been caught cheating. I've also got away with it, which is not something to be bragging about. I've had a DUI. I've also not had a DUI, if you know what I'm saying. There were many times in my life where I smoked pot marijuana and drove my car. That is classified as a DUI. So there's a crime that I got away with. Man, I hate even admitting it. But thousands of times.
It's like half of America.
I know, but it's still, look, if a kid walks out in front of your car and you hit him, like you can't even, like, could I argue that like I was going to hit him anyway with or without the weed? Yeah. But can you be prosecuted for that? Yeah. And that is terror. I mean, I'm very lucky because that's a crime that I committed. I didn't hit anybody, thank God, but I could have. Have I assaulted people and got away with it? Not really. One time I hit a guy with my skateboard. It's very emotional. I was in a train going back to my house, my parents' house. The Sandy train. And there was a drunk guy on the train. It was packed. People coming home from work. Busy train. And there was a drunk guy, and he was harassing this lady. I feel like she was pregnant. But she's some lady, And this guy is like harassing her. And this is before phones because I'm old. But nobody's doing anything. And everyone's just sort of watching. And he's like kind of hitting on her, and he's like slurring, and she goes to move to another seat, and he like goes over and sits next to her, and he's kind of rubbing on her. And then I see a tear run down her face, and I just black out because I'm getting mad. And then when I see the tear, because I'm like, man, this guy is being a dick. But when I see the tear, I think I was more concentrated on the guy and not the girl. But when I saw the tear, I realized that she was actually seriously stressed from this. And I just got up and hit him in the head with the skateboard. And I put him out. Like, out too. And everybody in the train said, get off at this train station and we'll cover for you. I was like, well, that's big of you. You know what I mean? Or you could have all just jumped in it before I did that. But yeah, I was pretty worried. But I got away with it.
Hey, if there's one you got to get away with, that's the one.
Yeah, because it would have been like it was like I don't know how. Man, I don't want to get into it.
Yeah,
I don't think he was doing that well. But man, why did you do that? You're a very mean person. I have stolen poppy seeds out of somebody's front yard. I don't even know if that's a crime. The poppy flower, and you slash it with a razor blade. This is YouTube, doesn't matter.
Yep.
It worked. Yeah, this is a question you just want to get me on.
yeah, we're gonna bail out of this.
Basically, no, I haven't got away with anything.
There you go.
Yeah.
Somebody asked, would you have Bam or Novak on the show?
Yes, I would totally have Bam or Novak on this show. That would actually make sense because they are sober and they have gone through a lot. And I know Novak has worked incredibly hard and has a bunch of sober living things that he does. So, yeah, I would love to have them on.
Yeah, and I've seen Bam on a couple of sober podcasts.
Yeah.
About stuff, too. Yeah.
What's the name of the girl who took her top off and flashed her things in whiskey video? She was sitting on top of your shoulders. Her name is Libby. She was my first real girlfriend. Nice person. Any more questions about that?
Yeah.
Isn't it weird that like all these questions are pretty friendly?
Yeah.
And nobody on Twitter has come to say anything.
There was like one person in there that was like harassing Brianna, which was crazy because Brianna's like being helpful and like putting the links so people can like get to the store and everything. And then they're like tagging her to harass you, which makes no sense.
Harass me for what?
Oh, just going like is wordy like, oh well, what about the Tim Pool thing? And blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, but that's what I thought we were gonna do.
Well, yeah, there was. It's just funny because it's like everybody but this one person. So,
because it's a bummer guy who's got a bummer life. That's kind of how that works.
Yeah.
But I wanted to answer that.
Yeah.
I wanted to answer that. Like
Yeah.
I know the guy not that well. I know that when they talk about a lot of politics stuff, I don't really get it. And they do seem right-leaning, for sure. And some of them, like the one guy, he seemed like slightly homophobic, in my opinion. But it's also...
He's just like one of the crew guys?
No, I don't know what I think he's an assistant or something. I don't know what his actual job is, but he's nice to me. But in that one instance where he talked, I was like, whoa. And, even Tim was like, dude, what are you doing? Like, why are you saying that to him? And I was like, that's okay. And it's you're entitled to your opinion. It's just the thing that I've learned is like, like Chris D'Elia, I don't know that guy, but it seems to me that he's done some pretty bad stuff. And it's like, what's worse, doing stuff to 16-year-olds or like saying Trump's cool? Like, to me, you got to be joking me. I know Brian Callen hangs out with Chris D'Elia. I don't hate Brian Callen. Like, I don't know what reasons he's got. I don't know. I really don't know for sure. I just know that like me holding resentment, I don't know Chris D'Elia. And I don't really care. And I'm as a guy that's a victim of this stuff, I don't really care. Like if he gets a Porsche or he dies, I don't care. I don't know him. You don't know him. You don't know Tim Pool. I skate with Tim Pool. He skates. He is a skateboarder. Seems to me, this is what I get from him hanging out with him personally, is that he loves skateboarding and he's trying to like figure out ways to make skateboarding make money again. Like he wants to try to make the industry of skateboarding successful and flourish so that professional skateboarders make money from skateboarding. And I'm like, do you know who else has a similar interest? Tony Hawk. And me. I would like to figure out a way to make skateboarding popular. And I obviously don't think that it's shown by X Games and all these other things that if I have a skateboard contest, no one seems to care. It doesn't seem like that's been proven to work. So I was like, what about, I have this idea for like a roller, what is it, like a roller derby thing, but skateboard and make the track different so you don't push, you pump, and making it like, it's like a joke, like Ellis Mania, like, like a joke almost, but it's entertaining and it makes people like skateboarding and maybe follow another skateboarder and then maybe buy a skateboarder's board and just trying to like stimulate skateboarding. And that's what that dude's doing. And when it comes to his show, I follow him on Twitter. I can't get him, and he knows. I can't get through one clip of what he's talking about. I don't care. It's like, oh my God, it seems painful. He seems like he's in pain from talking about it. But boy, does he seem interested in it, He seems really involved with all that stuff. And if that's what you're really involved in, great. There's the other thing, like, you guys are like, man, you were with him. I'm like, Alex Stein, I now kind of know his name. He's at Skankfest every year. You got any beef with Luis J. Gomez about it? What are you doing with me? Oh, now you hate gays. I don't hate gays. Man, how many times do I have to explain it? It's like so hard for some people's brains to understand. I slept with everybody. There's dudes I slept with that I'm proud of that I slept with them and some of the girls I slept with. I know that sounds really mean, but you guys have no idea the trenches that I've been in where I'm like, yeah, deal, sure, go for it, anybody. And then I have to wake up and go, oh, I did that. Oh, man, I'm sick because I was sick. I also drank things and smoked things that were like, dude, what are you doing? And I'm like, man, I got to get high. I got to get out of my mind. And I would do things that it's like, looking back, I'm like, what the hell? Who smokes that particular thing? Homeless, crazy people do. And I was doing it because I was that desperate for a fix. I'm still a supporter, 100% of the gay, lesbian, trans. Hell yeah, man. I'm also a complete supporter of, like, if you're a black guy or a Spanish guy, a Greek guy, I don't care. I love everybody. I give everybody a chance. I think the difference is just like, if someone says something that I think is stupid, I don't really care. I'm telling you all this. I feel like I'm the day walker. I'm trying to tell you guys, you should check it out. You should try it. It's an easier way to live. Nobody really bums me out. I've been as angry as nobody on here has been as angry as me. None of you have. None of you have. I know it. None of you has been as sad as me. I've done things that I hope none of you have done. And I've thought things, same thing. I've had hatred in my heart. I've been triggered by people's opinions, videos, thoughts, suggestions, and comments. As hard as any of you have. And then I came to terms with who I really am, and I begged for forgiveness from the people I have hurt in my life, and I forgave myself for the mistakes I've made. Do I still make mistakes? Absolutely. I sit with it. I think about it. I understand my part in it. And if there's an apology that needs to be made, I will make it. If I don't think there's an apology to be made, I will not make it. If I think there's an apology that might be a thing that I could do, but it's just going to make things worse, I will not do it because I'm taking care of myself. I am living a healthy mental and physical life so that I can be here for the people that I love. So when people say, this is bad and you're bad and this guy is bad and if you hang out with this guy, you're bad, it doesn't matter. I don't care what you think. I don't know you. So if I cared about, like someone's like, you've really let me down. I'm like, I don't know you. How could I care? If I cared, that would make me crazy. Because I don't know who I'm talking to. I bench pressed this morning and my eyes were closed. And then I opened my eyes and the clouds were like real pretty and the sun was on my face. And I was like, wow, what a great day to be alive. I don't care what you think. I got fat fingers. You know what that means? Yep. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. I'm solid. I don't care what you think. I'm kicking ass.
Not that this is something that I need to address, but somebody was like, why are you moderating in the comments about somebody? Yeah, they got annoying, so I kicked them out.
Wait, you did?
Yeah, they
Why?
asked because they asked the same thing over and over again in different words, and they were mucking up the chat to where I couldn't keep up with questions. So
Did
you
I
know
answer it though?
Yeah, you answered it just now.
Oh.
But it's like, yeah, I saw the comment. You don't need to keep going, you loser. Sorry, I don't want to be.
What was the question?
It was about the Tim Pool stuff, and it's like,
yeah, because it's the same. That's the thing.
Yeah, if you do
can
it
tell,
90
it's
times,
like you can't let it go.
Yeah.
You can't even if I give you an answer, it's not what you want.
Yeah.
Like, what do you want? What is the? How does it work for you for it to end? You know, like
Yeah,
I don't know
like,
any more about it. You know,
they're like, are you trying to like have him dodge it? I'm like, no, I'm just trying
yeah,
to keep
look,
up.
we're talking about it again right now, and I'm not dodging it. I'll answer it. I don't. If there any more to answer about it,
And if you watch the show, it's been addressed before.
yeah, and I don't know about Russia. You know, he says it's not true, and there is no actual proof. But I've seen people on TikTok say that there is. I don't know. I just know that I skate for the boonies, and everybody that I hang out with, we skate. And I'm not involved in any of that, you know? So if you want to hate me for it, okay. Fair. If you are okay with it, also fair. I don't really care. You know? Like Starbucks. Who owns that? Are they all good people? Have you had one of those coffees? You know? It just doesn't. It's just why be so triggered? Just enjoy your life. Let it go, bruh. Like, as a person that has been triggered by all these people and all these things, and then now just been like, I found it to be quite delightful. You know, the people, the Black Rifle thing. You know what I think? Here you go. This will bum you out. I think that whatever happens with the country and who should be in charge should be voted on by the soldiers of America, because they're the ones that went to war and their brothers and sisters were killed and blown up. You didn't do any of that. So I don't even care what you think. I care what they think. Because you don't, and neither do I, not leaving me out, have no idea what it's like to be in that. And you did that for this country, for our freedom. So whatever you think we should do, that's what we should do. And if you don't like it, go back where you came from.
Right back to your mama.
That was so much fun.
Agro Boozer asks, can I work for you? No.
I don't have any money. What are you, deaf?
I'm the only employee.
Yeah, I can't afford him. I'm like, don't edit too much, dude. I can't afford it. Wait, Blaine has a question. Does me hitting a rollerblader in the shins while he was riding in a skate park count as a crime or a public service? I'm not answering that, Blaine. I don't think that's fair. You know, there you go. Let everybody live. You know, yes, I've had bitterness towards rollerbladers, and I had my reasons. There's another great explanation. This is great. Rollerblading took skateboarding when I needed it most. The money was gone, and rollerblading was bigger, and I lost my job. It wasn't rollerbladers' faults. It was just the times changed, but I took it as like a personal attack, and I hated rollerbladers for decades for it. It wasn't their fault, but I was in a situation that kind of made me brew this bitterness towards them, and it's not their fault. They're just having fun.
It's also, I don't know if anybody remembers, but most of the people that rollerbladed in the 90s were skateboarders.
No, that's not true.
No, it is.
No, it's not. And you
well,
should shut up.
at
Here's the deal. No skateboarder rollerblades. Rollerbladers skateboard.
Lies.
That dude, lies. What's your background? Who are you? What's your skateboarding background? How many years have you been in skateboarding? Shut up. You have no idea what you're saying.
I just know everybody idea.
I do. You're the dumbest person in America right now. I've been in the trenches. The only people that skateboard and rollerblade are rollerbladers. Skateboarders never rollerblade. That's a fact. That is a fact that I have witnessed for 40 years. Shut up. I know this. I am in all the way. Idiot. Dumbest person, dumbest thing ever said on the Jason Ellis Show. Zach. Idiot. Don't say it. Shut up for the rest of the show, you idiot.
I'm fairly...
Don't stop talking.
I'm doing another question.
Farting out of your mouth right now, Zach. Shut up.
Doing another question.
Yeah, but I'm answering phone questions. Just wait.
Okay.
What's your favorite trick to see done on a skateboard? And what is yours? Also, you snowboard this. I will snowboard this winter because my girlfriend snowboards and she's better than me and I need to get back to good so that I can defeat her. The greatest thing that I've ever seen on a skateboard is anything Jimmy Wilkins does. Backside ollie disaster, Elliot frontside ollies, backside ollies, everything. Overturn grinds, everything Jimmy Wilkins does is great. Greatest thing I do is salad grinds. Go ahead.
Okay.
Idiot.
Okay. Somebody asked, one of the Patreon members asked, what's the story behind, we're going to have to say this the right way for YouTube Live. What's the story behind Tully getting called Cow Lover?
Oh. I just said it. Same as like Christian Hancock called Shoebox. I don't know. Pot marijuana. I said it and it stuck and it was stupid.
Oh, yeah. And then this other guy, Keith, was clearly, this is his burner account from the one that I removed. So sorry to upset you, Keith. Keith asked about, I'm not sure exactly how he phrased it, but he was asking about Chris Cole. And do you...
this guy loves it.
Oh, yeah.
This guy loves... I feel like he's DM'd me several times from different accounts because I feel like it's the same person asking the same question.
Yeah, because it's worded the exact same way. So I'm like, well, that's your...
Chris Cole went to court and he won more visitation rights for his kids because the judge was like, you're clearly making this up, lady, and you need to stop doing it. And if you post about it again, you will lose your kids permanently.
Yeah, it says, what values does Jason think Chris Cole's actions reflect as a role model being upheld for
I just answered
skateboarder?
That.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're not going to realize it, but I obviously, if I think that Chris does do things like that to women, I would not be Chris's friend.
Right.
I believe firmly that he is not that guy and that his ex is crazy. That's what I think. That's my opinion. And I know him, and I know her, and I've known them for over 10 years. Have you known them for over 10 years? Have you seen them together and outside of together by themselves? Because I have. So, what do you think about that?
It's funny, too, because all the people who listen to the show regularly are all like, "This, we've done this." Like, they know.
Yeah. No, but it's I do want to credit that guy for actually joining.
Yeah.
Because so far, it's just like, what? How did Tully get his name? And I'm like, yeah, man. I also I've answered that like 7 billion times.
Right.
Wait, what is going on? Give you some okay. I'll give you some hate, mate. I still love you. Why did you start doing and promoting porn? I never wanted to see your, you know what, on Twitter. I was bummed out. But I got over it. Thick Nick. Yeah, I got my addictions got out of control. You know, like my ex had an OnlyFans and was like, you should be on it with me doing stuff because she was people wanted to see her do things not by herself. So I was like, well, yeah, okay. You know, I kind of figured it was like a paid for thing and no one would see it. And I was, out of touch with what was happening anymore, like, there was a bunch of decisions that I made without really thinking that, and I don't want to blame her, I got a brain. I could have said no. I could have said you shouldn't do it. But I was like, I talk about it on the air all the time. I'm not afraid to be naked in front of people. So it just didn't really bother me. So I did her account, and then to be on there, you have to have an account. So I opened an account, and then her friends that were kind of my friends were like, "Oh wow, I didn't know he was packing that. Like, can we use him?" And I was already kind of sleeping with some of those people. So, if she said it was okay, then okay. So next thing you know, I'm doing it with them. And then they recommend me to other people. And next thing you know, I'm shooting stuff with a bunch of different girls. And then a couple of trans girls. And then it's like, are you bi? And I'm like, well, yeah. And they're like, will you do stuff with guys? And I was like, well, yeah. And then the next thing you know, I'm doing stuff with guys. And I didn't ever really stop and go, is this good or is this bad? I was still this is back when I was under the impression that I was probably going to live until 53 was kind of where did my ex email me on my 53rd birthday and said, I know you're alive. You've made it. Because she knew how positive I was that I was going to die when I was 53. So I was making the most of my life. And I was pretty sure that my life was, I am a person that wants to sleep with every kind of person all day nonstop. That's the happiest part of my life, is just to sleep with other people. I was positive of it. I feel sorry for her, because I would be like, look, there's nothing I can do about it. This is who I am. And now I don't know what to tell you. God, this is going to freak you out. But God fixed me. I don't want to say fixed. God did something where I don't have it in me. I obviously think it's probably sobriety and doing the work where I'm like, wait, I don't need to run. I like being inside my own head. So I don't need to sleep with other people and do things to stay out of my head. And then the longer I stayed inside my head, the more I was like, whoa, I'm not actually even into that. And then I was like, wait, that can't make sense. Society has taught me that if you do these things, that's because that's who you are. And maybe this is just a thing I'm making up to make people like me again. Even I thought that, because I was like, you can't actually be straight. I don't know what to tell you guys. I don't want to do it. There was a time there before I met my girlfriend where I live in this house by myself. I could do whatever I want with anybody. No one's going to know, or everybody could know. I just don't want to do it. Something felt sick about it. And same with the being on the OnlyFans. I felt sick about it. I felt wrong about it. I felt guilty about it. I felt like I've done stuff, and I look back and it's the thing that would make me, if I didn't do the work, make me want to use again. Because I know that it's happened. I know people have seen it. I'm sure that it's still available somewhere if you looked for it. And it's gross. And it's a scar. I've also done a lot of drugs where there's video of that probably. And it's like, whoa, dude, really? You did that? And I'm like, I did a lot of things. I did everything. And I do regret it. But I'm also happy that I experienced it, because I believe I can kind of talk about it. And I'm not saying that it's everybody's like that. I'm just saying, for me, that's why this conservative lifestyle, and I don't know another word for it, where I'm like, I sleep with one person, I have a relationship with one person, we have a healthy sex life where it's not all day. I don't need to do it all day. I don't need to have some aroused 80% of my life where I need to see this thing that triggers me to want to do it more all the time. And I don't want to watch any porn. I don't want to see strippers. I don't care about it. I like sandwiches and going to the gym and talking to my friends and my children. I like, it's like everything's changed. I don't know maybe it's age. I don't know. Maybe I hit my head and I've woke up as a different person. I don't know exactly, but I believe it's the work that I've done. And I'm just like content with who I am. And I don't want to run. And when I don't want to run, I don't want to use. So I don't want to do the things that I used to think was who I was. You know, we're talking about someone that's been high since he was like 11. You know, and when you do it that long for that many years, that consistently, you start to evolve into a thing that you might not think, you might not know. That's not who you are. And I think that's what's happened, is where I'm now who Jason really wanted to be his whole life. But I've been scarred from all the things in my childhood, and I've been running my whole life and doing things that I thought would make me happy or would make people like me. And now I just do what makes me happy. And I like being like kind of quiet. I like being home with my girlfriend. I would love to like go to lunch with my kids. I can be honest, man. I've gone to lunch with my kids 5 years ago. I'll do it because they're my children, but I can't wait to leave to get high. Now, you know, this is the problem with life, is now I would love to hang out with them, but I'd love to, Dad, but, you know, I got to go get a matcha or something. He said that to me once.
Would you ever get married again?
Yeah.
There you go. There it is.
Just to clarify, what kind of range does Jason have to pay the ex? Come on, dude.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot.
Yeah,
that's all you need to know.
That's a ridiculous thing. I don't want anything like, I don't want anything bad. I have nothing bad to say about her. And I feel like a lot of people want to get something to show her, to make her mad. And I'm like, can you just let her live her life and let me live mine? It was great. And now it's over. And we're both happy with other people. And that's it, you know? That's it. What's the dumbest thing you've ever purchased when you had money? I'm actually selling all my jewelry right now. I was showing my girlfriend all the jewelry, the necklaces and all this stuff. I have a triple skull gold ring with rubies in the eyes. It hurts to wear because it's so heavy. What the hell? You know, like that was pretty stupid. But that's just like one thing that I can remember, because it was an hour ago that I was holding it. It's ridiculous. It's the dumbest thing ever.
Somebody asked any chance of getting back on Sirius.
Nah.
Oh
wait.
Yeah.
If you could ask your dad one question and get an honest answer, what would you ask? I have no questions for him. I already know the answer. He didn't mean it. That's the other thing. So you guys think it's like, how could you? Like, what if somebody molested you, dude? Could you forgive them? Because I can. Do you know why? Because I've held resentment for years, and it's made me boil and be angry at like other things that didn't have it coming because of it. When I let go of the resentment, I'm free. So whatever happened to you in your childhood, sometimes people keep doing it. That's kind of a thing. For me, it ends here. It stops here. And I forgive I forgive him. So I have no question. I already understand like what happened in your childhood is probably why that happened to me. And that's good.
Would you write a new self-help style book or any kind of new book in the future?
I would write another book. You know, a little bit longer in this sobriety thing to make it more positive, make it more official. You know, because I would like to be a positive influence to people where you can turn your life around no matter how dark it gets. And I think a few more years of proof, then it would be justified. How do you know what board Jules rides on a snowboard? I ride forums. Well, I don't know. She's got a board. I got a board. I'm happy with them. Was there anything about Tim Pool you didn't like? I mean, he talks about politics all the time. You know, I just don't care. You know, like, dude, it's such a weird thing that some people pick and choose who they like when it comes to that stuff.
Yeah, somebody was asking how much you knew about Richie Jackson before you went and commentated, and I was like, I don't think he has.
Oh no, I'm aware of him a little bit, but I also here's the bottom line here.
Yeah,
he smelt like alcohol. I'm sober. He was intoxicated. I don't want to sit next to intoxicated people. That's it. He's a good guy. I think my personal opinion is that he has a real problem, and I wanted to help him, but I'm not going to help him live on the air, and especially when you can't help somebody when they're intoxicated. Right. Do you answer my old segment question on Patreon? If not, can dudes at gay come back? No. I don't really see the point in doing old stuff. I'm trying to understand. It's like, The Cure or something, like, play the hits, and they don't want to play the hits. That's kind of where I'm at. I'm just like, dude, that was like 20 years ago. Like, I'm not doing your hit for you. Like, I like doing new stuff. I get bored of doing the same thing. I would like to do new things. That's why I like this show so much, because it's like new. It's my thing. I like it.
Did you ever skate the Hobart Bowl?
Never heard of it.
Okay.
Jason mentioned the other day. I love this guy texting thinking it's not me answering the phone. Jason mentioned the other day that he was getting a car that was going to have more horsepower. So what car is he pushing these days? Man, it's like they don't know anything. Like, it's just my car. I'm not getting a new car. It's my M3 that I bought a long time ago, so I own it. That's the only reason I still have it, because I wouldn't buy that now. I don't have any money. But I have an M3. It's nice. And it was falling apart because I don't have money to fix it. And then a guy that's friends with Lucy Block was like, let me trick your car out. And now it's like, I don't know, like 700, 800 horsepower. Stupid. But I don't even have it. But yeah, it's just my car that I've always had. And now it's pink. So, ooh-ah, Yeah, that's it. That's my car. Same car. That's probably going to go for a long time, too. That's going to be the car. Is that it?
There's a couple of just little ones, but somebody asked, how much would it take to bring back Hawk vs. Wolf?
$500,000 a year.
There you go. If you got it, throw it out there.
Yeah.
Favorite new foods?
Wow, favorite new foods. Man, I'm so basic. I'm stuck in my meatball still. I do like protein pancakes because my girlfriend makes those, and that seems to be pretty fun for me. And I also like quiche because she makes that. So those are my two new foods that I like.
How many drop bears have you had to battle?
Millions. That's why I'm so tough.
I think the answer for this is probably money, but people it's like fill in the blank, what happened. People that haven't kept up in a while. What happened to Kevin? What happened to Will? What happened to people just ask all these names?
But we got fired, dude. We got fired.
What happened? We got fired.
Yeah. And Will didn't get fired. And then I think he fired himself. I don't even know how that. I know he was still there when we got let go, but then he left and now he's on terrestrial radio and he moved, man, I think Atlanta. I don't know. I'm not good with states. Yeah. And when I got fired, Kevin and Tully got fired. And then I tried to do the podcast and the podcast didn't really make any money. I spent a bunch of money on the podcast and then I was like, we have zero money, and I was paying both those guys a lot. And then, I was like, hey man, we're going downhill. Like, we really need to like step it up. And that was kind of, I just couldn't afford to keep both of them. And at one point, Kevin was like fixing his, I was going through it too, It's not his fault exactly, but, like, who keeps the show going? It's Tully, And these days, because I'm completely sober, like, I can carry a show. I think at one point I was just like, I don't really want to do any work. You lift it, But I think the last straw was like, Kevin was fixed his phone while he was on the live show. And I was like, dude, I told you we were going under. And I don't think he realized. I think a lot of people don't realize, like we're in dire straits. And it was like, yeah, it'll be all right. I'm like, because you're not watching, you're not paying attention. So yeah, I had to let him go. And honestly, I think it's for the best. I think, I know this is hard for people to understand, but I want to do new stuff. I want to live a new thing. It's not, like the show, the show made a lot of money, and it was really cool to make a lot of money, but I really didn't like doing it. I kind of got sick of being it serious. I got sick of those people. They're not my friends, And I know this is a very, like, dude, people have jobs where they don't like their bosses and their work colleagues. I get it. But you got to go, all right? So that's what I was going to do. But when I got fired, I was like, man, I'm hanging out with people that don't really like me, So I'm way happier. I'm just way poorer. That's got to say something, though, right? Like, I'm way poorer and I've never been happier. Dude, I used to have $1 million. I bought anything I wanted. I used to spend $6,000 a month on Postmates. I feel like that's like one of the most embarrassing things I've ever had to admit. I had a business manager that didn't invest 1 cent, and they were like $5,000 a month. I just gave money to people and didn't know, because I was like, do I have money to like buy toys? Yeah. Well, then who cares? Like, once again, the reason that I am in debt, it's my fault. I didn't pay attention to any of it. And by the time I paid attention to it, because all the alarms were going off, I was like, what do you mean there's debt? Debt from what? It's like, because you don't make any money and you keep spending. I'm like, what? But and it's like, it's too late, And I'm like, wait, how much money do you pay yourselves to do this? Wait, what? That's way too much. Too late. You could have known that. You could have just looked, but you never looked. So it's all my fault. I don't blame anybody. I blame me. And I've forgiven me for my childish mistakes. And I have paid the price. I have paid in full. Dustin Poirier, shout out.
The last thing, two last things. Everybody was asking about tour dates.
TheJasonEllis.com for all the tour dates. I'm going to New York. I'm going to be on Story Wars and the Legion of Skanks. And I'm doing comedy in New York, Atlantic City, and another one in New York.
And everybody who asked about your specific cities, you guys, if it'll happen, it'll happen. There's nothing. I've kept up with the cities. Nothing's exact right now, but they're asking about Seattle, Houston, all that stuff. It's like, if we get it booked, we get it booked.
Yeah, I'll go for sure.
Unless you guys want to go work it out.
Then yeah, I'm going to Canada soon too.
Yep.
Barrie, Hamilton.
It's October, right?
London. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think a good way to end would just be everybody that has been thanking you for, for being helpful to them as a positive force, especially lately.
Because that's what matters, man. That's why this works out. God works in mysterious ways, and you can take that any way you want. But to me, I do Jason Ellis Show 2.0, makes zero money, costs me money, but it helps people. Does it help millions of people? No, but it does help somebody. Every week it helps somebody, and that's what makes it worthwhile for me. I feel really good about doing this show. I don't even ask about how the ratings or how many numbers or how many downloads. I don't care. I just know that it helps a couple of people every episode, And I'm super happy about that. And I get messages all the time about how this is helping people. And that's it. That's all I can do is give back for as long as I can until it all ends. I'm super appreciative that anybody watches or downloads or follows or goes on the Patreon. Or goes sees my comedy shows at thejasonellis.com, or maybe buys a skateboard or a hoodie or a t-shirt. All right. Don't die.